Now we're going to start working with the command design pattern. It's one of the original 23 standard design patterns by the Gang of Four, and it's also a very useful one. The idea is that, say for example, you're in charge of your company's web servers around the world, an Asian web server, a Euro web server, and a US web server, and that when something goes wrong, you are in charge of the crisis center. So here might be the schematic. You have the Asian server, Euro server, US server, and you're in charge of the crisis center. And when something goes wrong, you might have to connect to that server, shut it down, confirm the shutdown went on, disconnect, align the diagnostic programs, and so forth. In other words, run a whole lot of methods, as you see here. And this might be an issue because it gets very confusing to run 36 methods on a particular server remotely, and your staff might run them in the wrong order, omit one, run them on a different server by mistake, and so forth. So the command design pattern handles this kind of a question by saying what you should do is you should encapsulate commands as objects. In other words, you should have an object for each action you want to perform on those servers. For example, shut down Asia. And that encapsulated object may in fact hold 20 commands or 30 commands, but it's an easily used tool. You now have a tool set of objects that you can use, and you just use the shutdown Asia object, calling it once in order to shut down the Asia server. So you've encapsulated a lot of commands into this one shutdown Asia object, and then you have reboot Asia and run diagnostics Asia. So as you see, 30 or more commands have been encapsulated into very simple objects: shutdown Asia, reboot Asia, run diagnostics. That's why this is called the command design pattern, because you are creating command objects, as you see here. Easily used tool set of commands, and putting together all the commands in a particular object is going to help your efficiency, because all you have to do then is use a particular object in order to perform an action on a particular server. So now you've got a tool set rather than individual methods that have to be run. So instead of having to connect and then shut down and confirm and so forth, all with a particular server, all you've got to do is select the correct tool. So this allows you to encapsulate commands into objects that are easily used as tools. And we're going to take a look at coding this coming up next, the command design pattern. We're going to see how it looks in Java code coming up next.